Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. Reporter, it's the first Billboard chart after the Kamino incident, and everyone everywhere understands how major this is. Never before have heroes taken the stage in person in this situation. Izuku, come on mom, hurry up, I can't wait to know about my quirk. Inko, don't worry Izuku, we won't be late. We still have half an hour. Izumi, but mom. President, what did you say? Izuku, like I said, if you need more information about AFO then you have to have me hero license and put me in the top 10 list. President, I'm sorry, that's something we can't do. Doctor, it's the best you give up kid, you are quirkless. Reporter, sometimes weak people needs understand their limits, otherwise more people will get killed because of their recklessness. Izumi, what if this same thing happens to my brother? What if he got killed the same way this hero did? He doesn't have a quirk to protect himself or run away from the danger. Izuku was standing in front of AFO, who on his knees with his one hand, trying to stop the blood and covering the place where his right hand used to be. Izuku, for a lowly animal, you've come quite far. As a reward, I'll show how far I've come. After Izuku says that he starts powering up and his hair slowing went upwards, this causes the debris around Izuku started floating. Izuku on phone. Hello. President. Hello Apex? I'm taking you up on that offer you gave me a while ago. Izuku smirks. Alright. Katsuki, you can't become a hero. You're quirkless. You're useless. You're Deku. Izumi, that's a good name Katsuki Deku. It perfectly suits someone like him. Izuku. TCH. Those idiots their attack don't even hurt no more. I have looked for another way to gain strength. Aizawa, aren't you a bit ruthless? I understand what they were doing was wrong, but you didn't have to kill them in order to stop their activities. Izuku, eraser, eraser, eraser. You don't understand, this is my way of handling a villain. Reporter. And finally the moment everyone have been waiting for. The hero who managed to become number 2 hero in just 4 months after entering the top 10 list. The hero who was able to defeat a villain who All Might himself was having hard time dealing with number 1 hero Apex. At kindergarten, a green-haired boy could be seen playing all by himself in the sand pit making a sand castle, when suddenly someone taps on the kid's shoulder and he turns around and saw a girl with black hair standing behind him. Momo, Aizu, what are you doing all by yourself? Izuku, I was making a sand castle, wanna join? Momo, sure. After she say that, she sits down next to him and both of them starts playing with the sand. Momo, Aizu, did you get your quirk checked? Izuku, not yet, but I'm going there tomorrow. After Izuku says he hears someone calling his name, and he look around to see who and where the person and saw both Kaminari and Kirishima running towards them. Suddenly both them then jumps towards Izuku. Seeing this, Izuku simply moves out of the way, causing them land on the sand castle. Seeing the sand castle getting destroyed by them, Momo starts crying. Seeing Momo cry, both Kaminari and Kirishima look towards Izuku for help, but instead of helping them, Izuku just looks at them and smirks. As Momo continued to cry, more and more kids started arriving to see what was going. Some of them started to calm Momo down while some of them were scolding Kirishima and Kaminari. Eventually the teacher comes in and the kids told her what hall, and both of them got scolded for what they did, and the teacher managed to calm Momo down. Izumi, Oni-chan, why didn't you? Izuku, I know what you're going to say, but Izumi, the thing is there was no fun in that. You should have seen their faces when they saw Momo was crying. It was hilarious. Izumi chuckles, you're evil. Izuku, I know. Time skip. Next day. Izuku was presently in a hospital with High Sister and his mom waiting for the doctor to come with their quirk results. While waiting for the doctor, Izumi was ranting what kind of hero she was going to be, and Izuku was silently sitting on the chair waiting for the doctor to arrive. After a while the doctor arrives with results and glance at Izuku with pity. For some reason, when Izuku saw the look on doctor's face, he got an urge to beat the hell out of the doctor. He didn't know why, but he didn't like the look the doctor was going him. The doctor then sits down on his chair and look at his report, and then he looks towards the Yagi family. Doctor, ma'am, it seems like your son is quirkless. Inko, what? Doctor. Yes, man. You see, the thing is there isn't any extra toe joint in your son at all. And we ran a blood test just to make sure, and it showed no active signs of quirk. But the good news is that your daughter has the same quirk as you, but is much stronger. If she trains herself every day, she will become an awesome hero. Hearing that, Inko turned towards and picked Izumi up and started talking how she was going to be an awesome hero and how they will train together and all. Seeing this, Doctor again look at Izuku with pity, which causes to grip the All Might figure in his hand. Izuku thought, don't give me that look. The anger that Izuku was showing causes his eyes and hair to go pink for a brief second, which went unnoticed by everyone. After that, all three of them thanked the doctor, went towards their car. While walking their way towards the car, Izuku looks towards his All Might figure and saw it was broken, and seeing this, Izuku raised an eyebrow, but didn't have it much thought, and throws it away. Time skip. After a while, all three of them arrived at the house and went inside, and Toshinori was sitting on the couch watching something. He then looks towards the door and saw Izumi. Inko and Izuku were taking their shoes off. Seeing this, he stands from the couch and went towards them and asked, Toshinori, so how did it go? Izuku, though, wasn't interested in their chit-chat and walks towards his room, still thinking about what happened at the hospital. Izuku, why can't I just forget about it? It's making me angry. With Izumi. Izumi, so Dad, what are you watching? Toshinori, me? Well, this villain that broke out prison and was going rampage in the city. A hero was close, tried to stop him, but instead was brutally killed by the villain. Izumi, wait, where? Toshinori, let's see if they are still talking about it. After Toshinori says that, he turns the T.V on and saw that number 8 hero Yoroimusha was able to defeat the villain, but the other hero died. While reports were talking about the situation, a reporter said that got stuck in Izumi's head. Reporter, sometimes weak people needs understand their limits, otherwise more people will get killed because of their recklessness. After the reporter says that, Toshinori turn off the T.V and Izumi goes in the kitchen to see what Inko was cooking, and after a while she went into while thinking about what the reporter said. Izumi thought, what if this same thing happens to my brother? What if he got killed the same way this hero did? He doesn't have a quirk to protect himself or run away from the danger. Time skip 5 years. At midnight. In an alley, a person with a hoodie and a mask could be seen standing in the middle of an alley surrounded by a bunch of people. Some of them were cheering for the person, while some of them were cheering for the person standing in front of him. Akiro, what kind of suit is that? What do you think this is, a costume event? After Akiro says that, he smirks, thinking that after hearing those words his opponent would be enraged or would show some kind of reaction, but instead was met a nothing but silence from the hooded person. Akiro, what's the matter? Did cat got your tongue? Again, Akiro taunts the hooded person in order to get a reaction out of him, but again the hooded didn't do anything and stays silent. Akiro get angry because of that and rushes towards the hooded person and punched him in the face. After punching the hooded person, Akiro smirks and was about to say something, but then he saw the punch he threw didn't hit the hooded person. After realizing that the hooded person has dodged his attack, he stepped back a little. Akiro was about to say something, but before he could, he was met with a light kick on the chin by the hooded person, which causes Akiro to fall on the ground. Hooded person, attacking me out of nowhere is rude. Akiro looks at the hooded person and then rubs his chin and slowly stands up, and without saying anything rushes towards the person and punches him again and again, but the hooded person dodged all the attack pretty easily. After a while, Akiro stops his assault and started panting. Seeing this, the hooded person shakes his head in disappointment and instantly comes in front of Akiro. Seeing this, Akiro's eyes went wide, but before he could react, he was met with a punch in the face which sends him flying backwards, crashing into the audience behind him. Seeing this, everyone present stops shouting when they realize that Akiro was unconscious. After a while, Akiro wakes up and saw that the organizers of the match was giving money to the hooded person. Seeing this, he clenched his fist in anger. Akiro thought, just you wait, whoever you are. Suddenly, Akiro falls on the ground, which catches everyone's attention, and then looks at him to see what happened to him, and saw a knife on his forehead. Seeing this, their eyes went wide, and they looked towards direction where the knife came from, and saw the hooded person standing there with his one hand raised in the air. But instead of doing something, all of them ignored it and started doing their own thing. Time skip. Presently, the hooded person was jumping from one building to another. After a while, the hooded person arrives at a house and saw a window was open. Seeing this, he enters the room. After entering the room, the hooded person takes his mask off, revealing the person behind the mask, which was none other than Izuku Yagi. After taking his mask off, he jumps on his bed and started counting the money he got from that match, which was around 93,000 yen. After doing that, he stands up and went inside the bathroom, takes a bath, and after taking a bath, he looks at himself in mirror and asked himself, Izuku, thought how long has it been? He then looks at his hand and turns it into a fist to see how much power he can put in that fist. Izuku thought, maybe around 7 months now. That's right, it's been 7 months since Izuku started getting himself involved in a legal streets fight. Two main reasons, one being the strength boost he get every time he fights someone stronger than him, and two being money. And why would he need to do this, you ask? Why would he need rely on this method to earn money? Well, that's because his parents has been neglecting him and acting as if he doesn't exist, no matter what the occasion was: Christmas, New Year, family gatherings, birthday parties, or anything in between. Izuku has been staying inside room or watching them celebrate from further away. But when Izuku was 7 years old, he stopped caring. It took him 2 years, but he realized that he didn't need his family to survive. He can survive on his own. Alright, his families doesn't care about him, but what about his friends? They might be better than them, right? Wrong. His friends were worst, even worse than his family. The people he once called their friends: Katsuki, Katsumi, Shoto, Shoka, Hu, Kaminari, Kirishima, Mina, Momo, Ida, Ochako, Shiro, Jiro. All of them turned the back on him. They not only ignore him, but they beat the hell out of every now and then when they get a chance. At first, Izuku hated it. He hated everything. He asked himself, why were they doing this? What was the reason behind? But after few months, Izuku realized something. He realized that every time his friends beat him, he gained a huge boost in his strength, speed, agility, and why that was happening he had no idea, but he was not against it. So he purposely let them beat the hell out of him in order to gain strength. Izuku even managed to gain a small regeneration ability and resistance towards things like cold, electricity, heat, and acid. But what he hated the most was not his friends beating him every now and then. No, what he hated the most was their eyes. Whenever they were beating/bullying Izuku, he could see through them, and he knew that they were looking down on him. Izuku knew that for them he was nothing but a pebble, a waste of space, a good for nothing, worthless, etc. He can ignore them beating the hell out of him, making fun of him, call him names. He can ignore all of it, but what he can't ignore is those idiots looking down on him. So in order to get stronger at a faster rate, he started participating in street fights. That way he was not only able to gain strength, but also money as well. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Izuku was presently in his room looking for anything useful he could purchase on the computer. After a few minutes, Izuku stopped when he didn't find anything useful and looked at the clock and went inside the bathroom. After taking a shower, Izuku comes out of the bathroom and wears his school uniform. After wearing his school uniform, Izuku looks at himself in the mirror and smiles, but then that smile instantly turns into frown. Izuku, smiling really isn't my thing anymore. Anyway, let's get this day over with. After doing that, Izuku picks up his bag and throws it out of the window up in the sky. And after throwing his bag, Izuku jumps out of the window and looks at the sky and saw his bag coming downwards. After catching his bag, he starts walking towards the school. Time skip. After Izuku arrives at school, he walks towards his classroom, but then suddenly he feels tingles all over his body. Feeling the tingles, Izuku looks down to what was going, but before he could, someone hits him on the head from behind. Kirishima, morning Deku. Hearing that, Izuku was about to look at Kirishima, but before he could, someone hits on the head again, and this time it was Kaminari. After both of them were gone, Izuku looks UPS and rubs the back of head and said, Izuku, am I tripping? For a few seconds, Izuku continued to rub the back of his head, but then suddenly stops and looks at his hand, turns it into a fist, and then opens it up and then closes it again. Izuku, I don't feel any difference. After he says that, he looks towards the wall next to him and punched it. The fist went right through the wall. Seeing this, Izuku's eyes went wide, and he instantly takes his hand out of the wall and starts looking around to see if anyone saw him or not. After Izuku was sure that no one was there, he sighs in relief and says, Izuku, good thing that no one's around. Let's get out before anyone find out. After Izuku says that, he starts running towards his classroom, and after few seconds, Izuku arrives at classroom. Upon entering the classroom, Izuku noticed that Izumi's seat was empty, which was weird, but Izuku decided not to think about it and sit down on his bench. After a while, the class starts and Izumi was still not missing. After all the classes were over, Izuku could been seen in the classroom packing his stuff, when suddenly something explodes right next to his face, though that explosion didn't do anything except cover his face in smoke. After the smoke disappeared, Izuku saw that Katsuki was standing next to him with his eyes wide open while the other were standing behind him. Jiro, you sure know how to hold back Bakugo. Katsumi, totally, I thought you were going to use your 100%. After Katsumi says that, Ida comes and stands in front of Izuku and grabbed him by his collar and tried to lift him up, but to his surprise, he found himself being unable to even move Izuku. Ochako, what happened, Ida? Ida, nothing. After Ida says that he again tried to lift Izuku up, but he found himself being unable to do so. Seeing this, Ochako moves Ida and used her quirk on him to make him weightless and lift Izuku up in the air, and then deactivates her quirk, which causes Izuku to fall on the ground. After he hits the ground, Kaminari uses his quirk and attacks Izuku. After Kaminari was done, Mina used her quirk and throws acid on Izuku, which melts some parts of his shirts, but didn't do any damage to his skin. After Mina did that, Kirishima gets close to Izuku and kicks him in the stomach, and then other joined in as well. While they were beating Izuku, they didn't realize that the whole Izuku had a smirk on his face. Izuku thought, I had my doubts earlier, but now I'm sure I'm stronger than all of them. Time skip. Presently, Izuku could be seen walking his way back home, looking at his dress, which was torn apart by his classmates. After a while, Izuku arrives at home and tried to open the front door, but to his surprise it was locked. Izuku, well, this is new. Are they on a trip or something? After he says that, he walks towards the window he left open in the morning and saw it was still open. With one jump, Izuku was able to reach and grab the edge of the window. After grabbing the edge, Izuku enters his room and removes his uniform and wears his casual clothes and goes downstairs. Izuku, they are probably out somewhere, but where? After he says that, he walks towards the living and sits down on the couch and turns on the TV to pass time. After a few hours, Izuku gets bored and he turns off the TV and goes inside his room and takes out a costume from the closet. Though instead of instantly wearing the costume, he first looks outside the window to make that no one was around. After he was certain that no one was around, he wears his costume and jumps out of the window and runs away. Presently, Izuku could be seen walking down an alleyway, and after a while, Izuku reaches the end of the alley where two men were standing while covering a door. When the men saw Izuku, they instantly moved aside and opened the door for Izuku to enter. Upon entering the door, Izuku saw stairs in front of him. After Izuku started walking down the stairs, he started hearing people's voice, which started getting louder and louder. Once Izuku arrives downstairs, he saw a ring in the middle surrounding by crowds like a normal WWE stage. Announcer, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all guys have been waiting for. Today someone is going to fight not one but two of our champions at the same time. Introducing Echo. After the announcer says that, all the light turns towards Izuku was standing close to the stairs. Seeing Izuku, some of the crowd started cheering, while others started booing, which Izuku obviously ignored and walks his way towards the ring. Announcer, do you have a death wish, buddy? Do you have any idea who you're fighting against? Izuku, they don't know who they're fighting against too. Announcer, quite cocky, huh? Let's just hope you come out of this alive. After he says that, Izuku climbs the rings and saw two people on the other side of the ring, looking towards Izuku with a smirk on their face. Announcer, let's start today's, which is a 2 versus 1 Taurus and Leviathan versus Echo. Presently, Izuku could be seen standing in front of Taurus and Leviathan waiting for announcer to start the match. Leviathan, prepare yourself, buddy, because today this fight is going to your last fight. Izuku, we'll see about that. Announcer, let's start today's, which is a 2 versus 1 Taurus and Leviathan versus Echo. After the announcer says that, Izuku takes his stance and was about to move forward, but before he could, Leviathan rushes towards Izuku and tried to grab his face, but Izuku stopped him before he could reach him by kicking Leviathan on the face. After that happens, Leviathan grabs Izuku's legs. Izuku then tries to free himself, but before that could happen, Izuku was thrown towards Taurus by Leviathan. Taurus catches Izuku by his face and slammed him on the ground. He then tried to punch Izuku. After he does that, he removes his hand from Izuku's face and goes for a punch, but Izuku dodged the punch by rolling away. After dodging the punch, he instantly stands up, but before he could do anything, Leviathan, who was behind Izuku, punched him in the back, which sends Izuku flying towards the end of the ring. Before Izuku could recover from that attack, both Taurus and Leviathan rushed towards, punched him on the face again and again, Then Izuku catches one of their punch kicked both of them stomach, which sends Taurus flying backwards, but Leviathan didn't even flinch. Izuku then looks at Leviathan and saw that he had Izuku's blood in his face. Leviathan, say goodnight, buddy. Time skip. Currently, Izuku could be seen inside a trash compactor unconscious, while the two people who threw him there were standing in front of the compactor, shaking their head. Random person, that was a stupid decision, if I'm being honest. Random person, totally. I mean, fighting two of the strongest fighter at the same time. Random person, poor guy thought he had that in him. Both of them shared a laugh, and then walked away. After 2 hours, Izuku wakes up and found himself in the compactor. He scratches his head trying to remember why he was inside a trash compactor. Izuku, I got clobbered by that guy. After Izuku says that he jumps out of the compactor and touched his face a few times and found out that his mask was no longer on his face. Izuku sighs and jumps up and lands on top of a building. After he lands, he looks around for a few seconds, then makes his way towards his house. After arriving at his house, the Izuku enters his room through windows. After entering his room, Izuku removes his clothes and goes in the bathroom. Upon entering the bathroom, Izuku looks at himself in the mirror and saw that the area around one of his eyes went black because of the punch. Seeing this, Izuku sighs and decided to take a bath. After taking the bath, Izuku walks out of the bathroom and wears some clothes and goes downstairs to see that his family was still missing. Izuku, are they dead or something? Well, if that's true, then that's a good news for me. Izuku laughs and then goes into kitchen and prepares something for himself and goes into his room. After Izuku was done eating his food, he washed the dish and puts the dish where it belonged and goes into his room and lays down on the bed, and after a few minutes later falls asleep. Time skip. Izuku could be seen walking his way towards the school. His parents and his sister were still missing, but he was not bothered about it even a little. After walking for a while, Izuku arrives at the school and instantly goes towards his classroom. The class goes on like it usually does, but this time Izuku leaves the class before his friends could approach him. After coming out of the school, Izuku makes his way towards his house, and after arriving at the house, Izuku tried to open the door, but find out that the door was still locked. Seeing this, Izuku sighs and goes at the back of his house and looks at the open window of his room and was about to jump, but was suddenly kicked by someone in the face, which didn't do much, just pushed away a little. After the kick was delivered, Izuku rubs that part of his cheek and spits on the ground and looks at the attacker to who it was. Robbing this house won't do any good, kid. Izuku, robbing? So look, geezer, I think you're misunderstanding something. So how about this? You go back and play with your grandkids like you're supposed to, and let me do what I'm supposed. Are you underestimating me just because I'm old? After the old man says that, he launches himself towards Izuku and tried to kick him in the face, but Izuku easily dodges the attack by leaning backwards. After Izuku dodges the first attack, the old man instantly turns around and goes for another kick, and Izuku dodges that kick as well. Izuku slow. Hearing that, the old man get a little angry but calms himself down and starts bouncing around, and then goes behind Izuku and went for another kick, which Izuku again easily dodged. Izuku, sloppy. Though Izuku has a straight face on the outside, inside he was screaming because how easily he was able to track the old man's movements, which would have been close to impossible few days ago. After dodging one final attack from the old man, Izuku starts chuckling and goes. Izuku, sad, what's the matter, old man? I thought you were going to do something. But instead of attacking, you're just jumping around like a grasshopper. Don't tell me this all you have to offer. Who are you? Izuku, who am I? Who am I? I'm the myth, the legend, the brother of Izumi and the forgotten son of Toshinori and Inko Yagi. Show some respect, you peasants. What? Previously. Who are you? Izuku, who am I? Who am I? I'm the myth, the legend, the brother of Izumi and the forgotten son of Toshinori and Inko Yagi. Show some respect, you peasants. What? Izuku. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I'm the son of Toshinori and Inko Yagi. That can't be right. Why would this to you? Izuku, still don't believe me? All right, fine, follow me. After Izuku says that, he turned towards his room's window and jumps up, grabs the edge of the window, and climbs his way inside. After entering his room, he looked outside and saw the old man still on the ground. Izuku, hey old man, are you coming or not? Hearing Izuku say that, the old man comes out of his thoughts and looks towards Izuku, but instead of entering the house through window, he entered the house through the front door. Upon entering, the old man saw Izuku coming out of his room. Izuku looks at the old man for a few seconds and then goes inside his parents' room with the old man. Old man, so what do you wanted to show me? Izuku, just wait for a second. After saying that, Izuku opens his mom's closet and starts searching for something. Even though the old man let Izuku do what he wanted, he still didn't trust Izuku and was on guard all the time. But then Izuku stops and turns around, and the old man saw 3 pictures in his hand. Izuku then hands him the 3 images, and the old man takes those images. After taking a look at those, the old man looked at those images one by one. The first image consisted of Izuku and Izumi sleeping in their cradles peacefully. The second image consisted of Toshinori and Inko holding Izuku and Izumi in their hands respectively. Seeing this, his eyes went wide, and he turns towards Izuku, who was looking at him with a smirk on his face. The third and final image consisted of his whole family, standing together next to a kindergarten with others, such as the Bakugos and Todorokis. After seeing those images, he looks towards Izuku and tried to say something, but no words came out of his mouth. Though Izuku knew what he was about to say and chuckles and said, Izuku, if you're going to ask why did they do this or why are doing it, the answer is simple. It's because I'm quirkless. Hearing that, the old man continued to look towards Izuku as tears started to come out of his eyes. He slowly walks towards to Izuku to give him a hug, but Izuku stopped him in the middle of the way. Izuku, I don't need your sympathy, old man, but who are you anyway? Gran Torino. I'm Gran Torino, your grandfather. Izuku, damn. Time skip. After Izuku explains Gran Torino, or his grandfather, about why his parents did what they did, both Izuku and Gran Torino were now sitting on a table talking about what kind of life he lived up until now. Though Izuku decided not to tell Gran Torino about his life when sun set, otherwise he might get in huge, and I mean huge, trouble. Gran Torino. Sigh. Izuku, I'm sorry that you had to live that kind of life up until down, but how about this? Come with me, you don't have to live this miserable life. Come and live with us. Me and your grandmother will take care of you. While Gran Torino was explaining Izuku didn't do or say anything because he was completely zoned out and didn't hear a single thing Gran Torino said to him. After coming back to his senses, Izuku saw Gran Torino staring at him, waiting for Izuku to say anything. Izuku, what? I actually zoned out for a minute, what were you saying? Hearing that, Gran Torino sighs and again tells Izuku that he should leave the Yagi family and start living with him. Izuku, the offer is pretty, but I'm going to have to pass on that. You see, the thing is, I have something in my mind right now. Gran Torino, why? Why do you want to live with them? For them you don't exist. Why are you letting yourself get treated like this? You sister and her friends bullying you, and Izuku, old man, old man, old man. You just don't understand, do you? You see, the thing is, I have a plan, and to execute that plan, I need to be here, otherwise thing might get a little crazy. Gran Torino. Sigh, alright, fine, but at least let me beat some sense into those guys. Izuku. Nope, sorry, you can't do that either. Why don't you just wait and watch? 4 to 5 years, that's all I need. If nothing changes, I will take you up on the offer you gave me earlier. How about that? So what do you say, do we have deal or not? Gran Torino. Fine deal, but remember, only 3 years, okay? Izuku, what? But I said 4 or 5 years. Gran Torino. 3 years only. If you don't want to accept, then fine. I will just go ruin you master plan. Izuku. Sigh, alright, fine, 3 years it is. Gran Torino. Good. Now I shall take my leave. Time skip 1 year. Izuku in the moment could be seen inside his room, sitting on his computer, looking for anything interesting he could find to watch. While scrolling through the HeroTube, Izuku stumbled upon a footage of All Might standing in front of someone who was wearing a tuxedo, and the video was titled, Did All Might Met His Match? Seeing this title, Izuku clicked on the video, which showed the footage of All Might fighting a person who is tall as him and was wearing a tuxedo. Though the footage was only a minute and a half long, because after the camera get destroyed by their attack's collision, causing Izuku to sigh in frustration. After Izuku was done watching the footage, he was about to continue scrolling, but suddenly he gets a call from Gran Torino, and Izuku, sup geezer. Gran Torino, I'm not a geezer, I'm your grandpa. Izuku, tomato, anyway, what you want? Gran Torino, nothing, just wanted to remind you that only 2 years are left. Hearing that, Izuku groans in frustration and instantly cuts the call. He was about to put his phone away, but then he get a message from someone, and seeing that message, Izuku smirks and instantly stands up from his chair and opens his closest and takes his costume out. After wearing the costume, he looks at his phone one last time before jumping out of the window. Time skip. Right now, Izuku could be seen walking in an alley, and at the end of the alley, two people could be seen standing in front of a door. When the two dudes saw Izuku coming towards them, they instantly moved away from the door and opened it for Izuku to enter. After Izuku enters the door, he was able to hear faint screams and boos of people who were present to watch the match or cheer their favorite fighter. Inside the ring. Announcer, ladies and gentlemen, this match is going to be a little different. If you are a regular watcher, you might remember Taurus and Leviathan match that took place a year ago, where both of them fought an idiot who thought he could defeat them. Not in 1 versus 1, but a 1 versus 2. Do you guys remember that? After the announcer says that, the crowd went silent for a second, and then all of them started laughing, saying, "We remember that idiot. He was full of himself. That idiot didn't even last 10 minutes against them, etc." Announcer, yes, you guys are correct, but well, surprise, surprise. He's here again. Let me introduce you guys to Echo. After the announcer says that, all the light in the room turned off except one spotlight that showed Izuku's location. Seeing the light, all of them turned towards that direction and saw that Izuku was standing near the gate of that underground arena. Seeing this, some of them started laughing and some of them started booing, which Izuku obviously ignored. Announcer, quite stubborn, ain't you, kid? Izuku, that how I've survived this long in my house. Hearing that, the announcer looks at him in confusion. Seeing the confused look on announcer's face, Izuku chuckles and entered the ring and saw Taurus and Leviathan standing in front of him. Leviathan, so here to lose again? In all honesty, I thought you wouldn't show your face ever after that last time we fought each other. Izuku, you see, the thing is, I was quite busy banging your mom, trying to satisfy and her stress away her, so she can deal with your nonsense without any problems. Hearing that, Leviathan instantly rushes towards Izuku, and seeing this, the announcer screams at Leviathan, saying he is yet to the signal to start the match. But Leviathan ignores them and went to punch Izuku, which he easily dodged by jumping up in the air. Izuku then lands on the ground and looks at the announcer and told him to start the match, which the announcer did. And after hearing the announcement, Taurus was about to rush towards Izuku, but before he could, Izuku vanishes from his sight. For a few seconds, Taurus looks around, and then he saw Leviathan pointing on his head, which causes Taurus to look upwards, and seeing Izuku on top of his head, Taurus's eyes went wide and instantly went to grab Izuku's leg, but before he could, Izuku bends down and grabs Taurus's horn and jumps down from his head. This action causes Taurus to bend backwards. Izuku then turns around to get a better grip on Taurus's horn and throws him towards Leviathan, who was charging towards him. After Izuku throws Taurus away, he rushes towards Leviathan and Taurus, who were in the corner of the ring, and kicked them, causing them to fly out of the ring. After they crashed on the ground, Leviathan tried to move, but found himself being unable to do so. He looks up to see what the problem was and saw Izuku standing on top of him. Izuku, say goodnight, buddy. Time skip. Right, Izuku could be seen walking in the alley while rubbing a briefcase that had money in it on his cheeks. That's a lot of money you got there. When Izuku heard that voice, he instantly stops, only to see two people standing in front. One was covered in mist and the other guy was covered in hand. And seeing this, Izuku takes his stance. But don't worry, Echo, we are not here to take your money or anything like that. Izuku, oh yeah, well, I don't believe you. First, how about tell me what your name is? Kurogyri. My name is Kurogyri, and this is my master's successor, Tamura Shigaraki. Previously, Kurogyri. My name is Kurogyri, and this is my master's successor, Tamura Shigaraki. Izuku, Tamura Shigaraki? Shigaraki, that's me. Izuku, so what do you want from me? Kurogyri, my master has been observing you for a while, and your skills and quirk has piqued his interest, and he wants to meet you. Izuku, what will I get? Kurogyri, what? Izuku, what do I get after meeting your master? If he wants to meet me, that means he needs something from me, right? So what will I get after helping him out? Shigaraki chuckles, that's something you will find out after meeting him. Hearing that, Izuku narrowed his eyes. Then he saw Kurogyri opening a portal and inviting Izuku to enter the portal. For few seconds, Izuku stares at the portal and enters the portal. After Izuku enters the portal, Kurogyri and Shigaraki followed him behind, and after both of them entered the portal, it vanishes. At LOV base. After exiting the portal, Izuku saw that instead of being a base, it was bar. Seeing Izuku looks behind and was about to say something but was cut off by the sound of someone speaking from behind. Hearing that, Izuku turns around and saw that no one was there. "I'm over here." Hearing that noise, Izuku looks around and then saw a TV which didn't show anything except a dark room. "Welcome, Echo." "Izuku, why aren't you showing your face?" "Right now I can't show my face because my face right now is a mess." "Izuku, why, what happened? Tell me, have you seen the video of All Might fighting against someone with a suit that's been going around for a while?" "Izuku, and now you're saying that's you?" "That is correct." "Izuku, and how am I supposed to believe you? Believing my words or not, it's totally up to you." "Izuku, all right. So what do you want from me?" "Echo, you see, the thing is, I want you to join the League of Villains." "Izuku, oh yeah? What will I get after joining your group?" "Anything you desire. You will rule the world with." "Izuku, yeah, that's something that's never gonna happen because All Might is still here to stop you." "You're correct, but he won't be alive for too long." "Izuku, nonsense. What are you, a fortune teller?" "No. You see, the thing, when me and All Might fought, I ripped his guts out, which means that he can't maintain his buff form for too long." "Izuku form? Wait, you mean you tell me that the All Might I have seen on T.V is not real?" "You're half correct. The thing is, All Might needs to transform in his buff state in order to use the strength he showcases while fighting a villain." "Izuku, so what does All Might looks like when he's not in his buff form?" "I don't know. When he came back to his regular state, I was already knocked out, so I didn't saw what or how he looked. So what do you think? Are you going to join LOV?" "Izuku, what if I don't want to join the League?" "What will you do then?" "Then I can't help it. Joining the League or not is your decision. If you don't want to join the League, it's fine." Kurogiri, open a portal so that Mr. Echo can leave. Hearing that, Kurogiri opens the portal for Izuku to use, and Izuku looks at the portal for a second and then at the T.V and decide to enter the portal. After entering and going to the other side, Izuku finds out that the portal opened up on top of building, which was not bad. "Izuku, I was ready for some trouble, but didn't thought they would actually drop me somewhere safe." After Izuku says that, he hears something from behind, and upon hearing the sound, Izuku turns and saw the eyeless one. "Izuku, looks like they didn't like the idea of me not joining their league." After Izuku says that, he takes his fighting stance, but then he saw the Nomu vanishing from his sight, which causes his eyes to go wide. Suddenly that thing appears on his right, and before Izuku could react, he was punched by the thing, which sends him flying towards the building and crashing into them. "I'm going to start calling the thing Bert from now on." After Izuku crashes in the building, he slowly stands up and looked towards his left and saw people who were working in the building staring at him. But before he could say anything, Bert comes in and punches Izuku on the face, sending him outside, crashing into a store that was behind the building. Bert, who was still in the building, looks towards the people, and seeing Bert, the people started screaming and running towards the exit gate. With Izuku, Izuku coughs up blood and slowly looks towards the building he was in a few seconds ago and saw Bert staring at him. He then saw the Bert jumping out of the building and landing in front of the store. After landing, Bert enters the store and walks towards Izuku. "Izuku, can't we talk this out?" After Izuku says that, Bert didn't do anything for a few seconds and then pulled his fist back and went for a punch, which Izuku dodged by rolling towards his right. After dodging the punch, Izuku slowly stands up and rushes towards Bert and punched him in the stomach, but to his surprise, that punch didn't have any effect on Bert, which causes Izuku's eyes to go wide. Suddenly, Bert grabs Izuku's hand. When Bert grabbed his hand, Izuku looks at Bert and said, "Izuku, oh no." After that, Bert lifts Izuku up and throws him outside the store. This time, Izuku was able to pull himself together and manages to land on his feet, but before he could celebrate, Bert comes in front of him, punched him in the face, sending him crashing into the building. After Izuku hits the wall, he screams in pain and said, "Izuku, act my back." After Izuku says that, he looks at Bert and saw that he was about to walk forward but was stopped by a hero. Seeing the hero, Izuku saw an opportunity and runs away from there. Time skip 4 days. Izuku was presently on his bed with bandages wrapped around his head and chest. He slowly stands up from the bed and went towards the bathroom. Upon entering the bathroom, he looks at himself in the mirror and sighs. "Izuku, F it, that's probably one of the biggest L I've ever taken." After Izuku says that, he slowly started removing his bandages. After he removed all the bandages, he saw that all the injuries that he received after losing to Bert were gone. He then throws all the bandages in the trash can and walks out of the bathroom. After exiting the bathroom, Izuku went towards his closest and takes his school uniform out and wore it. After wearing his uniform, Izuku picks up a briefcase and jumps out window and starts making his way towards the school. Eventually, Izuku arrives at school, and rather than going for the classroom, Izuku went to the principal office and knocks on the door. Following that, Izuku hears a faint "come in," and hearing that, Izuku opens the door, and when the principal saw Izuku, he said, "Principal, why did you come here?" Izuku: "Principal, as you already know, I have been absent in the class for a while now, and I also have missed a lot of tests, and that's going to affect my final grade." Principal: "So, Izuku, I want you to give me an straight A+ in all my final exam and cover up all the days when I was not present in class." Principal: "And why do you?" Before Principal could finish his sentence, Izuku opens the briefcase he bought with himself, which was filled with money around $98,000. Seeing the money, Principal's eyes went wide. "Izuku, all this money can be yours if you just give straight A and cover up the days I wasn't present in class. Isn't this a good deal? You can get all this money and..." Principal: "Deal?" Hearing that, Izuku chuckles a little and hands all the money to the principal and walks out of the office. Right after Izuku comes out of the office, he looks towards the nearest and jumps out of it. Time skip. At night, Izuku could be seen jumping from one building to another. While jumping from one premises to another, he saw someone standing on the premises he was about to land on. Seeing this, Izuku squints his eyes and lands on the ground. After landing, Izuku was about to ask who that person was, but before Izuku could ask, the person revealed himself and, "Leviathan, we meet again, Echo." Izuku: "What are you doing here and how did you find me?" Leviathan: "That doesn't matter right now." Izuku: "Then what does?" Leviathan: "I want a rematch." Izuku: "If you want a rematch, then how about tomorrow? In that same ring, were you?" Before Izuku could complete his sentence, he dodges a punch from Leviathan, but after dodging the punch, Izuku noticed something. This time, Leviathan was much faster than he was previously. Izuku: "There's something different about you." Leviathan: "So you've noticed?" Izuku: "Did it take a toxin of some sort or what?" Leviathan: "Nothing like that. You see, after I lost our second match, I was angry and I was looking for a way to get revenge, and that's when AFO approached me." Izuku: "AFO? Who's that?" Leviathan: "I don't know what he looks like, but apparently he fought All Might, and he is also the one that gave me my second quirk." Izuku: "Second quirk?" Leviathan: "Enough of this meaningless chat. Now let's get on with the fight." After Leviathan says that, he rushed towards Izuku, and when he comes close, he vanishes and from the front and appears behind Izuku. But before Leviathan could do anything, Izuku turns around and grabs Leviathan by his throat. Izuku: "You are faster, much faster than before, but you see, I'm still stronger than you." After Izuku says, his grip around Leviathan's neck get tighter. When Leviathan felt the grip, he goes for a punch, but Izuku grabbed his punch before it could get close. "Stop." Hearing that noise, Izuku turns around to see who dared to stop him and saw. Izuku thought, "Tuya? What the hell is he doing here?" Dabi: "Release that person from your grip, now?" Izuku: "He's the one who attacked me first though." Dabi: "It doesn't matter who." As Dabi continues talking, Izuku turns his head towards Leviathan and crushed his hand, which causes Leviathan to scream, and when Leviathan opened his mouth to scream, Izuku instantly puts his other hand in Leviathan's mouth. After that, Izuku releases Leviathan's hand and instantly grabs the upper half of his mouth. When Dabi saw this, his eyes went wide, and he rushes towards Izuku to stop him, but before he could, Izuku dissects Leviathan's face in half. After Izuku does that, he turns towards Dabi and throws Leviathan's dissected part of the head towards him and say, "Izuku, there, I released him." After he says that, Dabi looks at Leviathan's head for a few seconds, and slowly his flames started getting bigger and hotter. Seeing this, Izuku smiles a little and looks down, and then looks back up and saw blue flames coming towards him. Seeing those flames, Izuku's eyes went wide, and he bends down a little and jumps up in order to dodge those flames. And when he jumps up, he goes way up in the air than he accepted. When it was time for landing, Izuku saw that he was not going down. It was as if the gravity vanished for him, but then he starts falling and lands on the ground without any problem. Izuku thought, "What the hell was that?" Before Izuku could get a chance to think about what happened second ago, he saw another fire attack coming towards him, and seeing this, he rolled his eyes and jumps up again, and this time was a normal jump. After landing on the ground, Izuku looks at Dabi and cracked his knuckles and says, "Izuku, you know this is my first time fighting a hero, so how about you show what you've got?" After Izuku says, he rushes towards Dabi, and Dabi continues to send waves of flames toward Izuku, which he easily dodged. After getting close, Izuku goes for a punch, and seeing this, Dabi instantly got ready to block the attack. But to his surprise, the punch never came. Instead, he received a kick in the stomach, which sends him flying backwards, but Dabi manages to recover from the attack in the middle of the air and lands on the ground. After gaining his balance, he looks towards Izuku and saw Izuku rushing towards him again. Izuku goes for a punch, and this time Dabi was ready for block the attack in stomach or in the face by covering that area in flames, but instead of punching him in the face or kicking him in the stomach, he used a low kick, causing Dabi to lose his balance. But before Dabi could hit the ground, Izuku grabs Dabi's face and slammed it on the ground. He then removes his hand from Dabi's face and says, "Izuku, hey Dabi, just know that I was going easy on you." After Izuku says that, punched Dabi in the face and knocks him out. After knocking Dabi out, Izuku picks him up and walks towards the edge of the building and saw a dumpster. Seeing the, Izuku smirks and jumps down and throws Dabi in the dumpster and calls the police. After calling the police and giving them Dabi's location, Izuku jumps away. So, this was the end of part 1 of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.